start now.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams. NYC.
Yep. What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time Show. Here giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And the Knicks once again lose to these Milwaukee Bucks, 123 to 108. And we got a good fight, man. Honestly, we was in this game for the most part. Saw some good things from Evan Fournier. He backed some words up. We saw RJ Barrett do some nice things as well, but all in all, Julius Randle only gives you 9 points on the night, even though he gives you 10 rebounds and 3 assists. But you know, these Knicks, they kind of fought, but at the end of the day, too much Giannis, who gave you 38 points. Not enough free throws from these Knicks, and the Knicks ultimately fall to these Milwaukee Bucks for another loss on this daunting road trip, and we are going to talk about it with you guys tonight. Before we talk about it, what we're going to do, man, first of all, I'm going to introduce my guys, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts, man.
Ryan G's in the building. Thank you to Knicks Nation who's with us on this late night to talk a Knicks loss. Y'all are very dedicated and we appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Y'all could be anywhere right now, but you're here 1 a.m. talking Knicks basketball on the Knicks loss. And like I said before, I'm gonna start saying these early in the post games. Please hit that like button, the subscribe button. It helps all the algorithms. If you know, even monetary gifts are helping with the cash apps, but the likes are free and they help us get seen. All right. So back to this game. Yo, the Knicks were in it, man. It's interesting, Ryan. I said this on Twitter. Evan Fournier has some nice insights on his post game. Sometimes in the last post game, he kind of talked about how, you know, the Knicks need to do something. They need to switch up the way they attack, because, you know, the reason why they lost the last game was because the other team's defense switched up the attack, and he feels like, you know, they need to take advantage of mismatches and you know, take advantage of switches and attack and attack smartly, attack mismatches smartly. And I felt like Evan had a little something to prove today. He had a pretty good game today. 25 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, all good game from Evan Fournier. Also 23 points from RJ Barrett, but we still saw somebody missing, and that somebody is the leader, Julius Randle. Tell me, man, what can you say about the game from the starters in general, Julius Randle's performance also in this game?
Well, first and foremost, I want to start off by saying this is the first game in a while, for what I can remember, where I was not disappointed with the effort the starting unit as a whole put in on the defense. Because, to be honest about it, this is one of the few games where the starters were the reason why the Knicks were so close in this game.
Yeah.
Because this is one of the few games where the second unit was getting trounced. One of the very few games. So I just want to big up the starters. You know, the starters actually played well tonight. Now, yeah, as I said, Fournier had a good game. RJ Barrett had a good game. Julius Randle, again, you know, this is a game where if the Knicks are going to win this game, especially when you have Giannis on the other side dropping 38 on the Knicks' head, you need that guy that's going to step up. You need that leader that's going to step up. And for the Knicks, that's Julius Randle. And if Julius Randle is just going to give you 9 points and look disinterested, I think Alan Hahn said that Julius Randle didn't even take a shot in the fourth quarter. You know, and that's your leader. You know, that's your supposed leader. Like, it's going to be all bad for the Knicks. And if they had the extra scoring from Julius Randle, this is a game that they could maybe pull out, or at least keep it tight towards the end to see if they could pull out the win. But with Julius Randle nowhere to be found, I mean, this is going to be the result most of the time.
Yeah, man. Today's one of those games where you just wish that Julius Randle of last year was available. Because if we had that guy last year today, with Evan Fournier giving you 25 and RJ Barrett giving you 23, we might have had a chance to win this game. Um, and it just seems like it's not going to happen this season, man. I've been trying to hold on for dear life, but he's starting to see like a pattern, and he's saying all the right things. He's saying, he kind of made a statement that he wants to be here and he wants to be a positive influence and lead by example and lead with work ethic and and things of that nature. But he has to show and prove it on the court, and I don't know, man. There's things I'm hearing off the court. I'm not hearing that he's being a leader. I'm hearing that he's being out of huddles. And once you and granted today we had 4 turnovers today, right? You know, 4 turnovers today on the night. And it's one of those things where he just can't help but turn the ball over. That's just part of his game. Whenever he gets into the post, he gets into trouble. Whenever he drives and trying to jumps and passes the ball, the Bucks did a really good job of scouting that pass to the corner, scouting his post games, his post moves, and taking the ball away from him. So he still hasn't adapted fully. And granted he gave some effort today, but I still feel like he's still struggling to know when to pass, when to shoot. He doesn't know when to take over games, and he's getting a little bit too passive, trying to get everybody else involved, and that's a problem for us, for sure.
Yeah,
And,
most definitely.
and who would have thought that you look at last year, Ryan, if I told you last year that Giannis Antetokounmpo's jump shot would look better than Randle's, would you believe me?
Nah, man, and watching this game too, like the Knicks were close a few times, and it's because Giannis is hitting 3 pointers. I think the play that really killed the Knicks in this game was I think it was Grayson Allen took a three from the wing. Giannis got the rebound. They doubled Giannis at the baseline, and it's just gonna do a no-look pass behind his head to Grayson Allen for the wide open three, and he knocks it in. And I think that play pretty much put the nail in the coffin for the Knicks.
Yeah, nah, absolutely, absolutely. It's funny too because we been dogging Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker, and in this first quarter of this game, Ryan, we couldn't stop them. But Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker were the catalysts on the offensive end that actually kept us in this game. It was Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, and a little bit of RJ Barrett. And even though we couldn't stop them, I think when they came out of the game, I think we were down by 3 in the first quarter. And that's when Alec Burks got into the game. And then when Alec Burks got into the game, that's when all hell kind of started to go loose. And we wasn't able to keep up with the scoring pace of these Bucks. And I think that was the first sign. And that was the first time I was like, well, dang, maybe we should have left Kemba in there a little bit longer. He was 3 for 4 from the field. Evan was 3 for 3. He didn't even miss yet. And he was hitting threes. And RJ Barrett in that first quarter, for me, even though we're down, RJ Barrett missed a lot of makeable layups today. There's a lot of off the backboard rimming out. So I just felt like we hung in there. We just really hung in there. And I felt like, you know what? We're getting the shots we want. If we just keep getting these shots, eventually RJ is going to start hitting those. And we'll be a little bit better off. RJ Barrett tonight, though, gives you 23 points. I've been screaming at RJ to hit his free throws 80% from three. I mean, his free throws 80% from the free throw line today for RJ Barrett. So gunshots for the bottom line Barrett 80%. All in all, though, these Knicks horrible from free throw line. 16 of 28 from the free throw line, which leaves 12 points on the board. And yeah, that's pretty much that's ball game almost right there. That plus the turnovers.
Yeah, free throws have been killing the Knicks all season, and also want to throw in one thing in regards to the game as well. I think a major reason why the starting unit did so well, because if you look at the way the Bucks play, especially that first quarter, the Bucks ran out and scored 39 points in the first quarter. That's because the way the Bucks play, they're running up and down the court. They speed up the pace of the game. And I feel like when the Knicks started to catch up, that starting unit, since, the Knicks starting unit, to play slow anyway, they like to, slow it down and play that half-court game. I feel like that's where the starting unit took advantage, because I think they switched the pace of the game and they slowed it down. so the Bucks weren't running as much, and the Knicks were able to methodically get back into the game that way. So it's one of the few times where the Knicks' slow play, I think, actually worked in their favor this game for the most part.
Right. I mean, and plus there was a time where I think the Knicks had like 12 turnovers at one point, and the Bucks were scoring off of those turnovers. I think they scored 9 points off the turnovers in that first half or something like that, and we was down by 9 or something like that. So that had a lot to do with it as well. But I give kudos to the Knicks. We couldn't figure out how to stop them. We started getting multiple stops by the time that third quarter started to hit. Shout out to Evan Fournier. These guys just started playing the passing lanes, and he was able to chip away at the game. We really lost the game. The start of the loss of the game happened with the second unit. And this is another game where there was a tale of 2 second units.
Jay, I'll be right back, all right?
Okay. All right, cool. The first half, right? The second unit and IQ didn't shoot well, but I felt like he ran the unit well. He took all the proper shots, even though he missed it. Grimes came in there, and he was super aggressive. He turned the ball over a lot, but he was a machine from 3. He even hit a floater. So he shot the ball well, and I felt like that second unit was the spark that we needed to kind of keep us in the game. And then when the second unit played the Knicks second unit played the first unit of the Bucks, that's when things started to get into trouble. We really couldn't keep up. And that's when I felt like the shot selection started to get a little bit questionable as well. And I think there's a point in the game where IQ pulled a quick 3 when he shouldn't have, after we kind of needed some momentum. And I think Tom Thibodeau kind of pulled the plug on the quickly experiment at that point, and brought in Kemba and Evan Fournier, and it was a little bit too late at that point. But this is one of those is what it is games. I did not expect to win this game. I'm not super pissed at the coach like I usually am at post games today, but it's just is what it is. This is one of those games where you just wish that we really had the talent to keep up, because Giannis is unstoppable. Giannis is unstoppable going full steam, coming down the hill on fast breaks. Today, Giannis was hitting jump shots and 3-pointers. And when things like that happen on a consistent basis, it's pretty much damn near impossible to beat these Kings. And also, man, guys like Drew Holiday was unstoppable from 3 in that first quarter, and that didn't stop anything as well. We really, at this point, we just needed more talent to win. But saw some nice things today. I'm actually kind of shocked that we saw Obi Toppin get some extended minutes in the second quarter. He finished the game with 14 minutes at the end of the game, 5 points. We saw some Obi Randle lineup today because Noel couldn't handle Giannis Antetokounmpo, and we saw Tibbs actually put Randle on Giannis and play Obi at the 4. So I'm giving Tibbs a little bit of credit for actually experimenting with a lineup for once, even though it didn't quite work in our favor. And you're starting to see Quentin Grimes as a 6th man right now. He's almost a 6th man to me. Quentin Grimes is getting a sturdy role. He gives you, I'm sorry, I cut my mouth, so it's hard for me to talk today. 11 points on the night. But at the end of the day, we just need more talent. At this point, we just need more talent. Salute to you guys, man. Salute to everybody who's rocking with the KOT show at night. Salute to Delano, Rich Jim, Winston Ellis, everybody else, Sherwin, and everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. First caller up, man, we got Reaper. Reaper, man, let us know what you want to talk about, man.
Hey, what's up? Good evening, fellas. Jay Ellis, Ryan G, chat. Thank you guys for taking my call. Yeah, same here. I wasn't really expecting us to win this ball game. So it was, there were some good things I saw. It's obviously it's Obi Toppin. He kind of had a little quiet game. Didn't really look for him a lot, but man, sometimes when he does have the ball, this kid is just electric. I really like. That's one thing I really like about him.
Mm-hmm.
However, when the only bad thing with Obi today, when the coach gave that small ball, lineup a chance, Obi Toppin made two mistakes that I thought were like really bad. So one of them was like when he went to the basket, good move, but the ball got stuck at the rim and he fell. It took him a little too long to get back on defense. Because I was looking at that, and the Bucks actually shot the ball, they missed, and then the Bucks got the rebound, and then I think they got a 3-pointer off that maybe, or they scored off of it after they got the rebound, and that was because Obi didn't get back on defense on time.
Right.
And so then there was another time, I think it was like maybe a couple of possessions later, he was trying to leak out on a fast break, and we didn't get the rebound.
Yeah.
So, he was at the 3-point line, so I guess it probably maybe it would, I don't know. He was at the 3-point line, but I think we gave up a 3-pointer at that point. Maybe him trying to leak out maybe kind of screwed up maybe the rotation
Mitch
when the ball
did something
started
similar to
swinging
that
around.
too. Mitch did something similar to that as well. He tried to guard Giannis 3-point line, leaked out. Bucks ended up getting an offensive rebound and ended up getting a score. But yeah, in general, I noticed that Obi doesn't even leak out anymore, and I think it's because Coach told him to stop because you're not getting any boards, and that's why you haven't really seen the Obi leak outs in like 3 weeks.
Yeah. So I with this game, it's like so that was part of it. But like when you have, so it's like with that lineup, actually, I'm not. Oh yeah. So with that lineup, Evan Fournier and Campbell, I think, was on the floor. When you have both of those two guys on the floor, it's just really impossible to rebound because number one, defense breaks down usually when they're on the floor until the ball goes swinging around. And then, it's very difficult to get a position and get a rebound. And, that's how we get killed at the 3-point line.
Right.
And so that's part of it, too. So it's just it's really, so it's really tough rebounding with those guys on the floor. We really struggle with rebounding today, especially closing out possessions and stuff. And, but in terms of the rest of the game, RJ Barrett, he didn't have a great shooting game, but I still like the aggressiveness, how he's really aggressively going to the basket. And so because of that, he's getting to the line. So that was really cool. But he had a bad shooting game. But the good thing recently I want to say is I do like more the fact that he's, obviously you want more consistency, but at least he's up one game, down one game, instead of being up one game and being down 5 games,
right,
10 games. So this is a huge, for me, this is he's taking a huge step to me. Because I feel he's being more consistent now, although he had a bad game today in terms of shooting efficiency. But, yesterday he shot well. And so with Julius, I'm glad they're kind of he's not as aggressive taking a shot, but I still think they're featuring him too much, having him trying to create for others.
Right.
They didn't do it as much in the second half, but I still think that's too much. And, because he has the ball in his hand a lot. And, it's funny, during the last game, I didn't call in for the last game. I just couldn't because I had something else going on.
Okay, I thought you just discussed it like I was. Okay.
I was disgusted with that last game. And it's so funny. I've been saying it the whole season. When Julius gets to the basket, when he gets into the paint, a lot of times he'll have a smaller player on him. And he'll pass the ball through a 3-point. I just don't understand it. Just take the shot. That last game where he basically took his man off the dribble, faked out, I think it was out of body he faked out, and had an open layup. It would have been a great finish, and he passes it out to the 3-point line.
Yeah.
And I think what the announcer basically killed him for it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, he just doesn't. It's everything I've been saying all this. He just doesn't. His basketball IQ is just not there, man. It is not there.
Yeah.
It is backwards. He passes when he's supposed to shoot and shoot when he's supposed to pass. He passes open shots to dribble into double teams and shoot contested shots. He's just all over the place, man. It's frustrating. And Delano says, are we celebrating moral victories? No, we're not celebrating moral victories. We're just we expected to lose.
Got to be positive a little bit,
Yeah, you got to be positive about something. So it's listen, the best thing about this season so far for me is Grimes is a player. He's looking like he's going to be something. I feel like Grimes is going to be on the level, at least on the level of Fournier with better defense by the end of the season if he's given minutes. And RJ Barrett I can say comfortably now that RJ Barrett has taken the next step. And I feel comfortable actually saying it right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Honestly, with Julie, I think I said this like a couple of weeks ago when that whole drama started with the fans getting all over him. Man, I'm telling you, like, I think Julius is going to tap out. I think he taps out, and I think his agent, like, is going to be done quietly. But I have a feeling he taps out and he requests a trade. And because it's just like, if he's unless like what we saw in the second half keeps happening, where they kind of phase him out, where he's not the primary playmaker.
Mm-hmm.
So the pressure is not so much, where he kind of fades into the background a little bit. Because if he can do more of like, some of the stuff he was doing, he did it like a few possessions where it was like somebody set him up and he just took the shot.
Exactly.
Or he'll make a quick decision where he sees the lane because somebody got him on a pick and roll and he just drove directly to the basket. If he does that, I think, and rebounds and plays tough defense, fans will forgive him. Today, in the second half, he was kind of checked out, though. You can tell he wasn't even trying to rebound. And I think it was because he was just upset they weren't featuring him anymore. He wasn't really playing defense the way, he should have been playing. He wasn't rebounding. Although he had 11 rebounds today, but late in that second half, there was like a few times where just like he wasn't even trying to get to the ball, to try to get a rebound or anything. So, but I just have a feeling he taps out. What do you think about that?
I don't think he's going to tap out. I mean, I think he'll check out. You know how? You know what I think? I feel like it's one of those situations where it's like a guy in a failed marriage, where he'll never ask for the divorce, but he'll mentally check out until his wife does it for him. I think that's kind of what's gonna happen. It might happen eventually, where you watching him mentally check out, and then the Knicks. I don't know when it's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen trade deadline, and we'll get to the rumors a little bit later. But if it keeps going like this, I feel like it's gonna happen eventually. But it might not be by trade deadline. But
I hear you. I just think the only way for that not to happen is if he takes a lesser role on his team and he starts to hustle. If he's not hustling, the fans pick up on all this stuff. I mean, look at everyone who's like, we have so many people doing Knicks talk. So it's not like crappy radio where like they do like 1 hour a day. I mean, like everyone is listening to this stuff. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think there's going to be much of an escape for him unless he really hustles. And then the other thing about him, even with the way he's playing, people think like everyone is so like either basically all or nothing with him in terms of his value.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people think his value is like really low. His value is not low. A guy who can give you basically who's a walking 2010, and if you can have him in a role where he's not the primary ball playmaker.
Right.
At 2010, he rebounds very well, and if he's in a good situation, he can play really well for you as someone who's off the ball. And so I think that's pretty valuable. I think they're going to get a really good return for him. So I think people that think it's like his value is so low, like it's worthless, I don't really agree with that.
It's not as high as it was last year. Here's the thing, man. I feel like it's a small market team thing, man. Because with the small market teams, the small market teams don't really expect to get the big fish in free agency, so they have to trade. They definitely have to trade. And if you're looking around in the league right now, you saw that the Kings were trying to get Ben Simmons, and that trade fell through. Ian Begley talked about how the Kings were interested in Julius Randle last season. They also were interested in Sabonis as well, so that's another name that kind of popped up. Whenever you hear Sabonis, I'm thinking if they're interested in Sabonis, then they might be interested in Julius because they're almost in the same role, even though Sabonis is kind of actually better this year. So I'm not saying 100% go for De'Aaron Fox, but I mean that's a small market team. Keep an eye on that. Who knows if it'll happen this season or whatever, but keep an eye on that. I know they're trying to have a fire sale over there, and they seem like a little bit motivated. But these small market teams, man, they might be the ones who take over Julius Randle. Hey, you know what? We'll see what happens. It's New York. The pressure gets to you. You're in a small market now. We'll take care of you, and there's less pressure. Do what you do. So I can see that happening. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The only thing I'm worried about, everybody, is like, itching for Derrick Rose to come back. I mean, you see Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker should not be playing much over 20 minutes, and the coach played him damn near 30 minutes today. So
yeah,
if Derrick Rose comes back, man, the coach is going to be playing Derrick Rose like 35, 40 minutes a game, and he's going to get hurt again within a week. I just, but, I wasn't too upset with everything, with the stuff the coach did today. I thought he actually did a pretty decent job today.
Yeah.
But the one thing, like, it did show, though, like, the whole small ball lineup, he probably should have went to that a little earlier, because it's almost like when he went to it late, it's almost like, it's fine. It's good to make it. It's better late than never. But it almost like it's admitting defeat, right? Your game plan is not working, and so you got to do something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
he usually doesn't even do that. So that's
yeah. So at least he did that. But I think it's probably something he should have done earlier. Honestly, we should be able to punish teams for playing small against us, like the Cavs do.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the other good teams that have big men do. But unfortunately, it's just like our guard play is just not. Well, it's not that the guard play is not really there. I just think we're not using the guards enough. Like, because it's all going through Julius. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'll you know what? I'll shoot Coach some bail too with Kemba Walker's minutes, because IQ came in the second half, and like I said, he did really well running the team in the first half. Even though I don't feel like he shot well, I feel like he took the correct shots. The second half when they made on that, when the Bucks starts going to run, and he just decides to not run the offense and kind of just do a pull-up three over like a center, and then Tibbs calls timeout. You never saw him again. I think that was why he was like, all right, let's go back, Kemba. And at that point, Kemba was having a good game. So I see why he did it this game. But you're right. We have to kind of watch Kemba's minutes and Derrick Rose's minutes. But I feel like if IQ played better in that second half, Kemba's minutes might have been more closer to like 25 or so.
I get it. That's definitely true. But, this is why early in the season, although like IQ was the one who was getting all the reps at point guard during summer league, and they put a lot of time into him, I kind of, I still feel like McBride, they should have been bringing him up a little bit at a time. At least they have, another option, but it is what it is. And, and it's hard, the coach doesn't have, there's the one thing with the coach too, he doesn't have a ton of options, in my opinion. Like, if one thing is wrong, where are you going to go? Especially with the point guard position, right? It's like, obviously, Kemba, if he's struggling, and then, IQ, he's up and down. It's like, then what else are you going to do?
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, it's not a lot of options.
Exactly.
But, thank you guys for taking my call. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely, man.
You guys have a good night.
All right, man. Have a good night, man. Shout out to my guy Reaper. Gunshots for you. Thank you for calling in, man. If you want to call on your radio, do hit the call that number below, 319-527-6241. Delano Smith says he don't want De'Aaron Fox. He says, give me Hallie. It'd be fun if he traded for Hallie, because I feel like Hallie was like low key throwing us shade because we didn't draft him. I don't know if you remember that, Ryan.
I think I recall that, because the Knicks were definitely looking at Halliburton, but they instead went with the big man Toppin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, but I mean, I like Halliburton. Halliburton is a nice player. So, it's just the money. It's the money. Like, it's gonna be Halliburton and who else? Because he's on a rookie contract this year.
Yeah, and honestly, I think if Sacramento's gonna move somebody, I don't think it's gonna be Halliburton. Because they just drafted him. I think if anything, it would be De'Aaron Fox.
Right. Like, I only feel like they would do that if it's like we get picks and they attach him to somebody you don't want, type of situation. But it seems like they're willing to just go fire sale. And I don't know. Sacramento's kind of I don't know. I feel like their front office isn't always that on point, so they can make stupid moves just like anybody else can. Big Reaper, shout out to Big Reaper, says a $10 super chat says do not trade Obi. Yo, at this point, Ryan, with the way Randle is playing and the tea leaves, I'm gonna just get to some of the tea leaves today because I'm out right now. Right, first tea leaf. It's because there's been a lot of Knicks news that's been going on this week, Ryan. I don't know if you know this, but it's been Ian too that's been dropping gems. It hasn't been. It's been Ian, and the first gem that Ian dropped was that a team who has contacted the Knicks got the impression that Randle could be moved for the right price. And you know, for the right price can mean anything, right? Like we don't know if it's Ben Simmons type of price where, you know, they say they want to trade Ben Simmons, but the asking price is astronomical. We don't know if that's the case. But the fact that for the right price to me was put in that, because, you know, Ian Bagley is very careful about the words he chooses when he talks about trades. He doesn't like to say definitively anything is going to happen or not happen. Right? So when he says for the right price, it makes me believe they're going to be thinking about it, especially when you contrast it with the news that we got today, Ryan. And the news that we got today was teams have been acquiring about Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly, but the Knicks hold them in high regard. So that's all different. That's a completely different tone than the Julius Randle news. If they said teams have been calling about Julius Randle, but they hold Julius Randle in high regard, to me that signals they're more on the fence about trading him. But like, so those two news stories going back to back makes you believe that they're more inclined to keep Obi and keep IQ and less likely and more open to trading Randle. That's what it feels like. And in general, shout out to the front office because they kept Grimes out of a trade package just last week for Cam Reddish, included Knox. So it seems like the front office is kind of prioritizing the youth right now. And if that's the case, kudos to the front office, man, because that's what it feels like.
Yeah. Usually when a team says a player is available for the right price, that basically means if a team comes through and it's a trade that they just cannot turn down, they will pull the trigger on the trade. So, yeah, they're saying Julius Randle is available, but they're saying he's not going to be available for just anything. You're going to have to offer us a pretty good package to get Julius Randle. Right. That's what I take it as. And, of course, you know, the fact that they hold Obi and IQ in high regard, because this is what I think. Because I feel like if the Knicks are looking, like if the rumors are true and saying that Knicks are trying to offload the veterans, other teams are going to inquire about the Knicks' young pieces because they're going to be like, okay, well, if you want us to take a Julius Randle, if you want us to take an Evan Fournier or whatever the case may be, you better attach a draft pick. You better attach an asset to that, a young asset to that for us to take on those contracts.
Right.
So I feel like that's what a rumor comes in about, you know, teams inquiring about Obi and they're inquiring about IQ. But, of course, the front office is doing the right thing by holding those players in high regard because you see promise with IQ, you see promise with Obi, and with the way the veterans are playing currently with the Knicks, I mean, you have to look towards the future. You have to look towards the young players. So
I can see that.
So you know, from what I'm hearing from the front office, it seems like the front office is acting very competently. You know, they're acting, you know, within the best interest of the team, and the front office has an idea that it's going to be the young guys that's going to carry the Knicks into the future. The vets are not cutting it right now for the Knicks.
That's a really good point, Ryan. That's a very good point because the other part of the news that also came out was the Brian Windhorst news, and you know sometimes with Brian Windhorst you take it or leave it, right? It's not Shams, it's not, you know, it's not Shams, it's not Ian. So you like some Brian. So his news came out, and his news says that the Knicks are trying to move veterans. Looking at Fournier, you're looking at Alec Burks, right? at this point of the season, the way they're playing, it might not be so easy to move him. So you might be absolutely right, Ryan. Teams could be like, okay, yeah, we'll take Fournier, but can we add IQ? Like, and at that point, it might be a no for me though. Like, I'm not adding IQ to think to add IQ to move Fournier, who we just got here for 17 million. That would suck.
Yeah.
That would suck. And even Alec Burks, I thought maybe it might be a little bit easier to move Alec Burks. But he's a little bit been on a downtrend. It might be easier to move him next season. Who knows? But hopefully, you find a team he'll be able to take them. There's teams out there who are desperate for kind of backup point guard help. The Cavs come to mind for sure. So maybe we can try to move something with them. But who knows what their asking price is? I can see them asking for a pick or something. But they also have Ricky Rubio. So when you have a guy who's expiring and he's dead cap, we can also ask for a pick in exchange for that as well. So maybe that's something. Maybe the Cavs is something we look to explore to do some business with. Who knows?
It was to get Burks, because if you talk about the point guard position, they just acquired Rondo the other day, so they have Rondo to back up Garland.
Oh yeah, that's right. They do have Rondo.
Yeah, so the Cavaliers, I think if the Cavaliers were to make a move, it wouldn't be for a point guard.
It would be for. You know what? You're right about that. You know what else? You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about Colin Sexton. I'm thinking about. They have Colin Sexton there. They have Colin Sexton and they have Ricky Rubio there who's dead cap. Obviously, Darius Garland seems to be the more competent point guard out of the two. I can see them trying to offload him at some point. So I think that's something else to look at as well. I'm not sure what the asking price would be. Also, I'm not even completely sure if you want to go that direction at point guard. Because I know you also heard Jalen Brunson is a guy that we can be looking at as well, who's a guy who can potentially lead the Dallas Mavericks. So I can see the Knicks trying to make a move for him as well. But again, what's the asking price for Jalen Brunson? Are you going to give up the young guys in a pick for Jalen Brunson, or are you going to wait until the offseason to try to sign him as a free agent?
Yeah. Even though Jalen Brunson's kind of interesting, because when I look at Dallas's lineup, he starts for Dallas right now. He starts alongside Luka. So he's not the backup point guard anymore. He's like more of a. I don't know how they play Luka and Brunson in the backcourt, because I don't really watch a lot of Dallas games. But I would assume that Luka would be the point, right?
Yeah, you know what it is too. They just lost Tim Hardaway Jr. to an injury, so they probably had to end up moving Brunson into the starting lineup to kind of ease that. So maybe they want to take maybe they will be like, okay, we'll take Burks on because we need the help, and we might maybe it's something like that. Who knows? That could be something.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think what other point guard do Dallas have besides Luka and Brunson? I can't think of another point guard that they have. So to me, I'm like, why would they really move Brunson in that case? Wouldn't Brunson be? I think Brunson would be more of like a free agent signing, once his contract is up.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if they can be scared that he's gonna leave in free agency, but they're also in the middle of a championship chase. You know what I'm saying?
That too.
So it's going to be that balance, but they also going to need a piece because they lost Tim Hardaway Jr. So they might be able to try to get a piece from there. And we have wings galore.
True.
We have wings galore, so that could be something too. But I can still see them end up asking for a pick.
Yeah, of course, because Brunson's a good young player. So
right. In any of those situations. Sharon goes, why do you guys want to trade Burks? That's dumb. Actually, Burks is a decent player, man. Burks is a decent player, but as you see, we have Cam Reddish here, and at some point, we're gonna have to give Cam Reddish time. And the Knicks have the second hardest schedule remaining in the NBA. As of now, it just doesn't look like we're going. I don't know, man. I don't see it happening at this point. Like, I'm not sure. I know the Knicks feel like they might be able to turn around, but I don't see significant progress happening with this team as constructed. So it might be better to get Cam some minutes. after the trade deadline to kind of get him on the track to improving his value, improving his play, getting used to his team, and starts to look for the future at this point. Like it might be, it seemed like it's almost time. Cause like I said last week, I feel Cam, trades could be made by a trade deadline or by the summer, and depending on how we play up until the trade deadline, I feel like is going to dictate what we do and how fast moves are made. And because it seems like we're falling out of the playoff chase, I feel like by the time the trade deadline hits, if we keep losing games at this place, it's gonna be more and more likely that we're gonna be moving players, and players who will be moved so they can play, so Cam can play would have to be wings. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, like I would agree with Sherwin if the Knicks were actually winning games. If the Knicks were, in a solid playoff spot and they were a good team. But the Knicks schedule is tough going towards the trade deadline. And like you said, it's going to depend on how the Knicks do within these next couple of days. If the Knicks keep on losing games, they're going to fall more and more out of the playoff spots. And if that's the case, why are you going to keep these veterans here for?
Exactly.
You have young guys here that you're trying to develop. You just traded for Cam Reddish from the Atlanta Hawks, and you have him on the bench, and he's not getting no type of burn whatsoever. So you don't even know what you have in Cam Reddish. So if you want to find out what you have in Cam Reddish, if you want to find out what you have in the other young guys, you have to move some of these veterans so that these young guys can get the minutes, so the Knicks can see what they have in these young guys and what they can actually give to the team.
Exactly. I agree with you. And it will behoove Tibbs too at that time to ease up on the minutes on Julius Randle. It would behoove him. Like, that would have to be done. Salute to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat. Y'all could be anywhere in the hell, but you're here with us talking Knicks basketball almost 2 a.m. in the morning. If you like the show so far, please hit the like button and subscribe button. And we're here after every post game. Talking Knicks. Next post game though, cause I know we were on a little bit of West Coast trip. I might do like the next day type of situation where we do it the next day, cause during the work week it's gonna be kind of tough. So I'm still kind of decided that, but look out for that. All right. But shout out to everybody who's rocking the KOT show, and let's talk some Knicks basketball. Next caller up, we got Stan Nowak. Stan, let us know what you want to talk about,
guys.
sir. Yeah,
How are
man.
you?
What's going on?
I watched this game from start to finish, and I had the analytics up from start to finish. And what I saw at the beginning of the fourth quarter was, let's just start with Kemba, because I got three guys I want gone. Kemba's one of them, as you gentlemen know. Kemba was plus 15 in the beginning of the fourth quarter. Tibbs has to take that analytics sheet and just throw it in the garbage. You can't coach off a piece of paper, and I know he studies the analytics. And by the end of the game, he was plus 6.
Right.
And I don't know where he ended up. And Burks, well, that's a foregone conclusion. The man's got to go. The man who was an absolute disgrace today and has disgraced himself through more than half of the season is Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Man's got to go. Okay. I mean, I started to be a rabid Knicks fan, 1973 championship. Okay.
Oh,
I can't. Okay. Well, hang on. Okay. I'll give you this. I know the play was a 9-man rotation. The starting point guard obviously was Walt Frazier.
right.
Red Holzman didn't bench Walt Frazier, then bring him back. If you were benched by Holzman, I mean, it's just idiotic. Okay, so you don't do that. So okay, Kemba goes. Okay, if Dave DeBusschere would have done what Julius Randle did, DeBusschere would have been off the team. Okay, and I'm surprised he's not gone now. Who's the biggest four available? Who's the tallest four available? Because the last Knick we had that could guard Giannis was Porzingis.
Nah, that was not Porzingis couldn't guard Giannis. I call
Oh,
Noah Vonleh was the last Giannis stopper we had. Noah Vonleh, and actually Noel
what?
did pretty well the game before this, but not today.
Okay, all right. See, yes, he did pretty well. But I mean, Julius, his heart's not in it. He knows he's gone either at the trade deadline or in the off season. He knows it.
I feel like he knows it too.
Well, I can see it. So the question is, do you even want to give your fans one decent play-in game, or do you want to go to the lottery? Because I don't think the draft is all that great this year. I don't know who you'd get for him. How tall is Jerry Grant?
He's like what, 6'9", 6'8"?
Think so.
Well, which is it? Because Julius is 6'8".
I think he's listed as 6'9", I believe.
Yeah, I think Grant
he's listed.
I think the thing is with Grant is he just has a lot. I think he has like a 7-foot wingspan or something crazy like that. So it's a different.
Yeah.
It's a different type of 6'8".
Okay, all right. So is he? I would think that would be. It would behoove the Knicks to have a guy with a real big wingspan trying to defend Giannis. I mean, because you can't get worse defense than I saw today on Giannis. Man had 40 points.
Yeah, I mean
That's
they had.
yes, it's Giannis. I get it. He's an MVP. I get it. It's it's a great team, but there's no fire there. And Kemba got that plus 15 by playing with the second unit and literally bumping into quickly, trying to get back on whatever he was doing. Those three veterans should go.
Yeah,
I can't see. You've got to keep some respectability to the team, and I guess 37 minutes, 9 points. Okay, but what was worse was his defense. He's strong enough to use his body on Giannis and kept him to 30 points. Let's say,
Randle wasn't. You know what it is though too. Randle wasn't guarding Giannis all night. It was Mitchell Robinson. Mitch was guarding Bobby Portis at a certain point.
Yeah.
Then they had Mitch on Giannis. Then they had Noel on Giannis. Then when things got out of hand, Tibbs pulled Noel and had Randle at the 5 and Obi at the 4, and that didn't work either. So I mean,
yeah, no, and that's never going to work because neither one of those guys is a 5.
Yeah, but
it's just not going to work.
We didn't have we don't have the personnel to guard Giannis. That's pretty much what it is. Like it didn't matter who we put on him. Like
it was a former 2-time MVP right there.
Exactly. So
all right. Well, Cam Reddish, name me one thing Cam Reddish is gonna do. One thing.
Cam Reddish is not guarding Giannis either.
Yeah, he's not holding Giannis there. He's not, definitely not. Even though Cam is a good one-on-one defender, but Giannis might be too much though.
Yeah, but I think again, the long arms. You got to get into the guy's face. You're not gonna defend him by using your body. Julius,
right.
Yeah, great, strong guy, body. Good rebounder, but those rebounds could be picked up by somebody else. He just happens to be there, and the centers, they're pretty much maxed out on how many rebounds they can take. So okay, Julius is the 4, and he rebounds. But I mean, it's just disgraceful. I didn't see any enjoyment here, and frankly, I didn't think Quick played as bad as it's made out to be. Yeah. Julius has disgraced the team.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I don't feel like
and whenever he can't be back next year.
He might not be, man.
None of those three guys can be back next year. Fournier did, everybody's get rid of Fournier. Why? He actually can drive to the basket. He can get to the basket quicker than Kemba. In most situations, it just Kemba, felt pretty good tonight. He got to the basket, and then nothing. Nothing when you need him in the fourth. Nothing. And yet he's still in there. And I watched him go down. From 15 to 6 throughout the fourth quarter. What on earth? What is the point? You take those analytics. You can't coach by analytics. Anybody who's coached at any level, you can't coach by analytics. The people that coach by the stats, those are the coaches that lose. You coach with your gut.
Got you.
And my gut said, "What the heck?"
I get you. I get it.
And I frankly am toning it down.
I get it. I feel you.
I
feel you.
You get it, and I'm sure you agree. So
I agree.
I'm going to get off and let somebody else vent because it's not fun to watch the Knicks anymore. It's not fun.
It's not, man.
And Julius did it to himself. Take care, guys.
All right. Take care, man. Take care, man. Frustrated Knicks fans there, man. Frustrated Knicks fans. And I'll say it before, I'm going to say it again. Tonight is one of those nights where we didn't have the talent. We lost because we didn't have the talent. Like, I'm not as pissed as I was when we played the Heat. Because the Heat game. They
thrashed the Knicks. They thrashed them.
They thrashed the Knicks. Two, I felt like the coach. I feel like we might not have the talent to beat the Heat, but I feel like the coach kind of lost that game for us in general. Even if he had the talent or not, the coach didn't put us in the best position to even have a chance to see if he won that game, which is why the Heat game pissed me off so much. This game, it didn't matter who was on there. No one was stopping Giannis. When Giannis is hitting jump shots, it's a wrap. Like, there's nothing you can really do. My man is hitting threes and pull up jumpers. So, you know what I'm saying? And we had Mitch on the guy and Randle on the guy. So the one thing I'll say was this: Evan Fournier today had a pretty good game. He's actually I don't know what happened to Evan Fournier. This handle get better as the season starts to go on.
I don't know.
Because it seemed like he was handling the ball better. He was shooting off the dribble. He found Mitch for a nice pass in the post. He's passing the ball better. It seemed like Evan had a pretty good game overall. And he's backing up what he was talking about in the post game from the game before. So I give some props to Evan. I give props to Evan. I give Quentin Grimes. And and I give props to RJ, man. Those are my three guys who I'm giving props to tonight, really.
Yeah, and I just want to throw this in right quick. Out of all the veterans on the squad right now, I think the one that I'm most hesitant to trade is Fournier, just for the simple fact that he can actually, like Stan said, he can actually get to the basket at times. He has a little floater game. He can shoot the ball. He can actually provide a shooting pop. But the thing with Fournier is that in a team with a defensive coach like Thibs, you have to surround a guy like Fournier with defensive pieces to kind of cover up for his defensive inefficiencies on the defensive end. So, you can't have Fournier on there with other guys that's not going to give full effort defending. So I think Fournier can still have a spot on the team, but you're gonna have to surround him with defenders pretty much if you want the team to defend at a high level.
Yeah, Fournier, and you know what it is? Fournier had some nice defense. Fournier was Jekyll and Hyde. First half of the game, I felt like there was a sequence in general where he turned his head and the guy relocated on three, and then hit a three, right? But then in the second half, I feel like he was in the middle of a lot of these steals and a lot of these good defensive possessions that led to fast breaks that cut into the lead. So Fournier is one of those guys where I feel like if you motivate him correctly, he can play defense, and he can have more good games. I feel like he's one of those guys where his value can actually rise next season if he gets comfortable playing with us. And it'll be hard. It'll be easier to trade him later down the road. I feel like, and actually get more fair value.
Yeah, like you said, I feel like it's you have to surround him with the right defensive pieces. You have to surround him with guys that's gonna really get at it on the defensive end, and that's gonna raise his level as well.
Right.
If you're gonna surround him with Kemba Walker and with Julius Randle, these guys that's not gonna really give a lot of effort on defense, that's just gonna lower his level on defense, and that's gonna make him look bad on defense as well. So I don't know. That's my opinion. That's my personal opinion anyway. Like out of all the vets, that's the one that I'm least like
Pissed at.
pushing the trade. Yeah.
And that's a long. Like he's gonna come a long way from the beginning of the season when everybody wanted him going. Now everybody's like, I mean, some people are saying we have him going, and I feel like people who want him going have a case, and people who want him to stay have a case. Like I that's how I feel about Evan Fournier right now. Like
yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where it's like I'm not mad if the Knicks trade him, but I'm not mad if the Knicks keep him. It's one of those things.
It's one of those things. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Next caller up, we got Nick him up. What's going on? Nick him. Are you like in the corner somewhere? I feel like you're not working right now.
Nah. What's going on, guys? Not today. I'm off tonight. I gotta keep it down.
That's what's up. Okay.
Family sleeping. What's going on, guys?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, man. I want to have a fire sale, man, and get rid of all the vets, man. I'm turning my back on Julius. I called him the other day saying kind of don't want to do it, but he's done.
Yeah, it seems like
he don't want to be there. I don't even want him there anymore. It's like forget it, bro. You're not even hustling on the D or nothing. He's completely like checked out. Fournier, I would get rid of him if possible, but I'm not averse. I was listening to Ryan's take on him. If I'm not attaching no assets for any of these guys, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that desperate to get rid of them. I just would like to play the younger guys. You know what I mean? Just, a full rebuild. The heck with it, man. We've been through, I know there's a lot of Knicks fans that they're just looking for names, man. Any name, they don't care. Just get a name on the team so that we can go to the playoffs and lose in the second round. I don't even want to do that. I'd rather, we never had a true full rebuild. I know we're trying.
Right.
And it looked like we were building, but our leader, Julius, like, look what you mean. I don't know. He's not for us. He's not leading. The lights are too bright. Get what you can, get. Buy out Kemba. Like I said, I don't think that we should trade Kemba to I don't know.
Keep it respectful. Yeah.
Sacramento or some team he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
He came to New York on a buyout, so I think we should buy him out, let him go to where he wants to go, or. If he don't mind being traded somewhere and we get something for him, whatever, let's do that. But Julius got to go. If Fournier can stay, let's just go with the kids. Let's just play with the kids. Start quickly at the 1. If Fournier's on the team, leave him at the 2. If not, RJ at the 2, Reddish at the 3, Obi at the 4, Mitchell at the 5. And then we got our bench players still, so they just. I'm just. I don't know.
I feel you, man.
I'm defeated. I was debating. I almost went to the game in Miami, but I worked that night, and I was this close. My brother bailed on me, so I was like, I'm glad I ain't go.
I'm glad you ain't go, man.
I'm glad you ain't go. Yeah.
I'm going to the other one regardless, man. It's on a Friday night. I think it's on the 25th of March. Going to that one regardless.
Okay.
So win, lose, I don't care. I'll still go out there. I'm a Knicks fan, been through, like I said, I'm living here. And I was at work all night with my neck hat too.
That's what's up.
So I didn't take it off for nothing.
Yo,
so
tag us there on IG or whatever. So you shout you out on the IG if you're going on the 25th.
I'm not on any of I'm not on social media like that.
Okay. That's
I don't have social media actually. One of them tags.
All good. Got you, man.
So yeah, man. I don't know, man. This is a rough way to start the weekend, but like I said, I appreciate you guys. Everyone that's listening, make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe and share. Also share, right?
Yes.
These guys are here at 2:00 now in the morning. You'd be doing whatever it is they could be doing, and they're here, working for us. Letting us vent, giving us airways, and letting us chat, topping it up in the chat. So. Appreciate what you guys do. Like I said, I guess hashtag full rebuild, man. Let's just, blow it up. but not, don't trade, don't give any assets for anybody really.
No assets, man. I'm with you,
Yeah.
man. I'm with you.
I got a question though about Tibbs. I know we talked about, Tibbs is a good coach, but why is it that like we got to help him out? Why is it like we got to help him out, like by getting rid of these people? I mean, like, I'm just wondering, like,
Cause you know this, Tis be
wanna
tipping, man.
fire my man.
Tis be tipping.
Huh?
It's two
Yeah.
ways. There's two ways I see this ending, guys. Two ways. One, we trade these vets and to clear the way for the youth because Tibbs is not gonna do it himself. Two, and this is something I don't even think Leon wants to do, but he might have to come from on high, talk to Tibbs, and like, listen, we don't want to attach any youngins or picks to move these vets, so you're gonna have to bench him. And if that happens, I'm not sure they want to do it, but I feel like that's the only other way. If people are asking for picks and young pieces, I can't see it. I don't want to do that. I don't know if they want to do it either. And they would have to talk to Tibbs at that point. And I feel like that goes against their own philosophy too. I feel like they want to give Tibbs the control to do Tibbs things. But Tibbs be Tibbs, man.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Right, and I don't know if you guys seen as of late, Alec Burke kind of fell off a little bit. I know he did okay.
Oh,
today,
yeah.
but I'm thinking, I think it's because of the trade deadline, and he don't want to be traded. It's pretty rough to be, here in this city, and then
That's a fact.
And another city tomorrow, in the middle of the season. In the off season, that's different. You got the whole off season to move and get situated. So I think Alec Burks knows it. Is hearing it, and I think he's kind of just going through the motions right now, and
That's good.
giving it his all because I don't think he wants to be traded. That's just my opinion, though.
That's a good point, man. I know he's tired of being traded. He's been traded like almost every year of his career, so he's trying to stay someplace.
Yeah,
This is the longest contract he ever got. So
yeah.
So you're right about that,
because we've seen the ball. Missed the fourth quarter. I mean, I haven't seen that, and I don't remember when was the last game, but
absolutely. No, you're right. You're right, man. Alec Burks, but he might be going. Might be the next victim. Sorry, Alex, but Alex.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are older. We're not going to win now, so might as well, get these guys ready for tomorrow.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Get these young guys. You let them get burned. If we make the playoffs, which I doubt we would, but hey, if we do, great. Make the play-in, great. But just develop these young guys and just give them burn.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anybody out there is going to come save us, but it don't look like it. So
nobody.
Let's just develop what we got, man.
Exactly.
Let's just develop what we got.
Exactly. I'm with you.
You know
man.
what I mean?
I'm with you, man. Yeah. Thanks for calling in, Nick. You got another caller
no
up
problem,
in the queue. I appreciate you kicking it with us in 2 a.m., man. Good night, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the call.
Whew. All right. We need some energy right now at 2 a.m. So we got our KOT coffee. And tell him, Alejandro. What's going on?
Testing?
Tell him. Testing.
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 Test.
Hey, how you doing tonight, Jay Ellis? Hey, how you doing tonight? Stacks and Sacks, Ryan G. Are y'all ready? I don't think y'all are even ready. I really don't think Knicks fans have peeped games. I don't think y'all peep what we doing.
What we doing?
We completely crashing out. What's going on is perfect. This is what we need to change stubborn Tibbs. This is what we need to wake the front office up. They've done a great job, but they trying to win. And they starting to see, hold on, how we trying to win? This ain't the wave. Somebody is getting themselves out of town. They gave their fans the thumbs down. They've been worse since Coach Woodson dipped. They've been worse since we started getting fans. This person, Julius Randle, he's been worse since he's gotten a contract extension. He's Alfred Paytoning. If you remember last year when we gave him the boot, when we finally got what we wanted, Elf going on the shelf, we as fans saw that he mentally checked out. He wasn't defending well no more. He wasn't trying. He wasn't passing well no more. He wasn't driving well anymore. And, that's like his strength on offense, driving, right? Yeah. He wasn't trying anymore. And I'm sure he's not a bummy player. I'm sure if he goes to another team, he'll be okay. What's going on with Julius Randle is perfect for us. We're going to get what we want. He's going to be gone. Before last season, we wanted him gone. Last season was amazing. But unfortunately, this year, he's been worse than his first year here, which was bad. The spinning turnover constantly. Now it's gotten worse, right? It's not the spinning turnover constantly anymore, but the body language is bad. Ducking the media. Carmelo would never. Carmelo would never duck the media. He sat there and spoke to the media when Phil was screwing up. Still, Carmelo would show up and talk. And Randle's ducking the media? Are you kidding me? But this is good for us because we're going to get what we want. We're going to get what we ultimately need. Evan Fournier said it best after last game. Realistically, we have the talent, and he's right, in my opinion. This is one of the first times in years I see the team has the talent. It's sad. It's a dang shame that the coach doesn't see it. And we can tell he doesn't based on minute distribution. Right now, at this point, I think the front office is telling him, play the vets, because we're about to sell them all for the low. It is what it is. We don't need to give them up for beastie players because it's already on the roster. The deuce just needs to get loose. Did you not see last game? 1 minute, 43 seconds is all Jericho Sims played. Sexy alley-oop, slam, jam, early. It was like, wow, we could have used that this game. You understand what I'm saying? So they're clearly playing the vets. They're clearly getting ready to try and move some of them or buy them out, move them, sell them super low. We're going to be like, dang, only a second-round pick? Yeah, because we're not trying to get a beastie player in return. We're about to open up spots for the beastie players that we have. It's time to let Cam Reddish go off. Did you not see Cam Reddish's, I believe it was game 6 against the Milwaukee Bucks last year when they got eliminated?
Yeah,
he performed very well in that game.
Sure
he showed, all that potential that I got. When the season was on the line, I was here when Trae Young was injured up. Remember that? The Atlanta Hawks, they needed something. And Cam Reddish stepped up. He going to be ready once the trade deadline passed. Like I said, the deuce needs to get loose. IQ going to get his groove on. He has great chem with Obi. Obi's going to benefit once we move Randle. And it's not so much that I really want to move Randle no more. You can tell. Bro, Google Kenny Payne. He's looking at a different job right now. If Kenny Payne dips, what do you think what time it is? If Kenny Payne dips, it's a wrap for Julius Randle, bro.
That's a wrap.
That's what I'm saying. But again, this is a good thing. We're crashing out fast. This is a good thing. Look at the schedule. We're going to see Ja Morant. That's an L. We're going to see Stephen Curry. That's an L. We're going to see some other teams that's going to punish us, and it's going to be nasty, and it's good. It's the perfect time for this. So we can move on from the Julius Randle era. It's not how I wanted to move on from it. It's not how I wanted it to end. But once we move on for him, we finally get the kids to run for the second half of the season and develop. And RJ's going to have the keys. Woo! RJ's going to have the keys with Optimus Grimes running the floor transition with IQ and Obi. It's going to be good, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be good. But we just have to let them finish crashing and burning hard. And that's what's going to happen leading up to this trade deadline. We're going to be losing badly. And look how we're on ESPN. They're putting us on Front Street. They're putting us on blast so the world could see how bad it is right now.
Oh, God.
This is a good thing. We have to spin this into a good thing because I believe in the front office and they help put us where we are today. I know they can't be fooled and not see what's going on. I have to believe in them because if the front office doesn't see this and they don't fix it, then we really are screwed. Yeah. So I have to believe that the front office sees what's going on and they're going to fix it. And it's going to start, sadly, with the departure of Randle or probably with the departure of Kenny Payne.
I'm looking at the news right now, man.
Looking spooky, right?
Yeah.
Looking spooky.
9 Louisville basketball coach candidates to replace Chris Mack from Kenny Payne. Yep, Kenny Payne looking
spooky.
Looking spooky hours, man. If Kenny Payne leave, Lord.
Yeah.
Woo. Interesting, man.
But with that being said, Ryan G, thank you so much. Jay Ellis, thank you so much. Knicks Nation, you already know what it is. 2 a.m. We up strong. I don't know why they put the Bucks game so late. That's they usually play Eastern times. But it's whatever. We're going to take our licks. We're going to come back strong after this stretch of games where we crash out and burn hard.
Absolutely.
Look at it in a good way, fellas. Look at it in a good way, man. This is a good thing. Change is coming.
We'll see. All right.
Change is coming, man.
Stay
optimistic. Don't give up.
Stay
optimistic, man.
Tell him,
man. No doubt.
Tell him with the optimism, man. He says, listen, you have to destroy before you rebuild. It's burned to the ground, but we'll rise from the ashes like the phoenix, and we'll be back again. That's what Alejandro is saying, man. Destroy and rebuild. Go ahead,
Exactly.
tell him, man. Whew. The one thing I will say though, real quick, is Randle ducking the media or the Knicks holding Randle out of the media?
Yeah, that's an interesting question right there, because what I would think is it's the team. That's what I would think.
I think it's the team, because Randle said the Knicks didn't make him available, and then as soon as he said that, Mark Burnham reported that they cut the interview short and pulled him out of there, and then they proceeded to not make him available, even after they paid the $25K fine for the first time. So
Yeah.
that sequence seemed weird to me. Like, oh, the team didn't make me available. Then they're like, oh snap, you said too much. Cuts Mike. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
like that seems really weird. That seems like an organization who's trying to hide something or trying to avoid bigger fines. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, from the outside looking in, what I would think is the reason why they're trying to hold Randle out from talking to the media, it leads me to believe that there has to be something going on with him mentally. And the Knicks organization knows, with the way he's been playing lately, if they leave him out there to talk to the media is going to get at him.
Right.
With the way he's playing lately. And I guess they're trying to preserve Randle's mental health. That's what I would guess on the outside looking in. So they're trying to keep him away from the media until he can hopefully get it together. That's what I'm thinking.
They should get him a sports therapist and save the $25K. But whatever.
Yeah.
All right, man. Next caller up, we got Chapman from Queens. You good? You can go after Fritz.
All right, hey, what's up, fellas?
What's going on?
You guys are madmen, man. Madmen. You guys are so strong, baby. So, guys, who cares?
We're crazy.
We just getting started.
Oh my gosh. I got one eyelid open right now.
Hey, listen, man. I love my Knicks. I love my Knicks. I'm starting to feel like I'm in the boxing ring watching my Knicks, man. Just trying to
keep
my two arms up, two gloves up, and it's rough. It is rough. But I won't lie, man. I got some good night's sleep, and I just woke up, and I'm like, all right, I know it's gonna be a rough one, so
you're funny.
I'm listening to you guys like, oh my God, it's a massacre. Man, hey, I got a question for you fellas. All right, so there's small market teams out there. I'm sure they're willing to take a chance to buy low on a possible former most improved player. Is it that horrible? How bad is this man's trade value? Or what is his trade value?
That is a great question.
Yeah, it's hard to tell right now, honestly, what his trade value would be.
Right. I'm not sure what his trade value is. Is it a young piece and some picks? But it's I feel like the young piece is maybe it's a young piece who's also kind of diminished, but maybe a little bit younger in the pick. Maybe it's something like that. That's my first thing that comes to my mind. Maybe it's a young piece and a pick, but the young piece is kind of potential, but it still hasn't reached his potential type of situation. Maybe somebody who's kind of gave you somewhere around the 18-point mark, 20-point mark a game, but maybe had a down year too or something. Maybe it could be something like that. I don't know. I'm certain. I'm grasping at straws.
Yeah.
What are you feeling, Ryan?
Okay. Go.
No, I was just going to say that I think if a team is going to trade for Randle, I believe it's going to be a team that has a point guard in place where Randle's only responsibility is going to be to score the ball. When the point guard gives him the ball in the right areas to where, he can, score at. I don't think it's going to be a team where it's going to be a team I feel like they have pieces in place already and they have a point guard. I think it's going to be a team like that might take a chance on Randle, and Knicks can possibly get a piece for that team.
Right, but I can't imagine just getting picked straight up from random and that's it. Like I feel like we need something else in return where it could be potentially something. And now you know what I'm saying. So I don't know who that would be at this point. Like I've heard people say De'Aaron Fox. I've heard that name come across. I've heard some people say they want more. What did we say today? Well, yo, my brain's starting to shut down. Ryan, help me out. Who else is on the Kings?
Buddy
Halliburton.
Hield,
Halliburton. I've heard Halliburton's name come
I
up.
wish we could.
It might be for Bagley too.
For Bagley too, I can
Because
see Bagley.
Bagley's unhappy in Sacramento right now, so I think Sacramento would be willing to move him. And maybe since they already have a point guard in place, and they just need that that guy in the front court that's going to score, they might take a chance with Julius Randle.
I can see that too. And it's funny, I haven't seen any rumors about Mitch. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen anything about extending him, not extending him, trade rumors, I haven't heard anything about Mitch. I can definitely see the Knicks like trying to, scapegoat that, like bring somebody else in who can, litigate that situation if they're not sold on Mitch. But I'm liking the direction Mitch is going in this year so far. So hopefully we keep him. Yeah, that's what comes to mind. That's what comes to right now. Man, I still like CJ McCollum, man. I'm a McCollum fan. I'm not sure what is his status right now. Like I know he just came back from he just came back from a collapsed lung.
Ooh.
He's playing right now.
Yeah, he's playing right now though. Portland, I'm just looking at Portland like, all right, when are you breaking up the band? When are you breaking when are you breaking up the band? I know we don't need another wing though. That's the only thing. I know we don't need another wing.
Yeah.
But I know McCollum can actually put the ball in the basket. So,
Want to ask you guys something. Like, for example, I understand OKC is very shrewd. Mark Preston, I believe the man's name is. If you have a hard time attracting free agents, why not? I would be personally licking my chops trying to get somebody like Julius or somebody a location that that has trouble attracting free agents.
You said name location has problems attracting free agents. That's what you asked me.
Yeah, this is the time to strike. This is like
locations. Any small market team of what? Anybody that's not the big. Anybody that's not New York, LA, Chicago. It could be Detroit. It could be Sacramento. It could be Portland. It could be. It could be you. It could. Okay, I see what you did there. I see what you did. I see what you did. Because there have been rumors. Like I don't take those rumors with a grain of salt. I feel like yo, why is my brain shutting off right now? What's the point guard's name, Ryan?
Donovan Mitchell, yeah.
I feel like Donovan Mitchell has been rumored to come to the Knicks for years. If he ends up coming to the Knicks next season, I would throw a party.
Yeah, overly ecstatic.
I'd be overly ecstatic. But for that to happen, that's not happening this off season. I mean, that's not happening, according to the rumor. If you guys haven't heard the rumor is if there's a first round exit for the Utah Jazz, then Donovan Mitchell wants to become a New York Knick. So if it was to happen, it would happen in the summer if that rumor is even true. If it's true. But we don't know if it's true. But it would be nice.
more than nice.
I would be happy with that. Definitely be happy with that. Absolutely happy with that. Ecstatic.
I didn't see Obi play, man. How's his body language? How's he weathering the storm? The Tibbs, thing.
Looked okay in the first half. Didn't really score a lot of points, but he had a nice little thunderous dunk off a fake dribble handoff, which was the highlight of the game. And yeah, and him and Randle played some small ball at the end and didn't really work out when he played small ball. But it's it is what it is. He had 15 minutes today from Obi, 5 minutes more than he usually gets. Hopefully we get it to 20.
Yeah, and I'll say this about Obi too. He did seem frustrated when he was taken out in the fourth quarter. If you looked at the reaction on his face when he went to the bench,
definitely did.
He definitely looked frustrated that he was taken out the game.
Definitely did. But yo, thanks for calling. I think we have another caller coming up too. Unless you have one more question.
Care, fellas, man.
All right, cool. All right.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
Hey man, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I just wanted to talk about some of the players you talked about.
Okay.
We were talking about the Trailblazers. Yeah, McCollum is back. He's playing. But it seems to be Anthony Simon's show right now.
Oh, Anthony Simons has been the topic of the discussion over the last couple of days, actually. You're right about that. Yeah,
they're trying to see where this kid's ceiling because he's doing the thing. So, yeah, basically they got 4 guys between Simons, Norman Powell, Damon Lillard, C.J. McCollum.
Right.
Before the deadline, 1 got to go. By the summer, 2 got to go.
Right.
So that's kind of where they're at. I'm not sure what they're trading because I don't think they even want to touch right now. They just want to see what Simons could do right now. So he's off the board. Lillard's off the board. So McCollum may be available. So
yeah, he's yeah, McCollum is a legit scorer, man. Like I feel like, but it's another wing though. It's definitely another wing. So
yeah, he's kind of like that. You know who McCollum reminds me of? It was like kind of James Harden before. Like James Harden was a shooting guard until they turned him into a point guard. Mm-hmm. Like McCollum could be a point guard and he could be a shooting guard at the same time. Like, but at his age, do you want to really make him change positions?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good point.
Yeah.
And it's just having another wing would be problematic too. You definitely have to get rid of more wings. But I mean, if you're talking about, get Randle, if they want a power forward, I think the salaries match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you guys mentioned Marvin Bagley. He's coming off his rookie contract, so he's at the point where you're gonna have to give him a qualifying offer, or you're gonna decide him to one of those extensions. But Tibbs would absolutely, if Tibbs is having problems with Obi, he would have a fit with Bagley because defense, not his thing. But I mean, we have the personnel for it, so we got the big man whisperer. So I mean, if Tibbs wasn't the coach, it's something like I wouldn't mind exploring, but Tibbs is coach.
I'd rather stick with Mitch.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I was just mentioning that Bagley's unhappy in Sacramento, so Sacramento would be looking to probably move him. That's all I was trying to say.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, they're looking to move him.
Absolutely.
Because they're not giving him that They're not even giving him that qualifying. He was drafted top 3. So his qualifying order, his qualifying is like 17 million or something.
Woo. Nah, I'm good on that. I'm definitely down to keep Mitch if anything, man. I'm definitely good on that. I like what Mitch has been doing lately. He seems like getting stronger. You notice that Mitch isn't dunking on people now. Like usually when he gets the rebound, he comes up kind of soft. He's been two-handed shacking dunking on people's heads recently. So
yep,
I'm liking that from Mitch.
I mean, I just don't like how just Mitch hasn't added a hook. He hasn't added anything, nothing around the back.
He has to be healthy.
Which I just find
he has to be healthy. Like people,
I just find it so weird. I just find it so weird. In 3 years, you haven't gotten a little hook. You haven't got a little putt shot. You haven't gotten anything.
Well, you saw he added a little the little dribble thing off the and dunk, but people have to add stuff to their game in the summer. That's when players usually add things off their game. So he's been injured all summer. And they just been hiding it. So if he's gonna add like any type of hook, any type of 3, it's gonna happen in the summers. It's not gonna happen mid-season.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Oh, shout out to
last-
JD Sports Talk. Hold on, shout out to JD Sports Talk who's popping in here. You still up too, man? Jeez.
Yeah, there's mad Knicks fans up right now. Mad Knicks fans.
Jeez,
Yeah.
facts. That all crazy.
Yeah. So the last player I would say anything about is Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it would seem really simple. Knicks give him a pick and a player. But the other way the Dallas, I think, would try to finesse the Knicks is trying to say, hey, we're ultimately going to do a deal this summer. Why don't we do it now? And then they may ask for quickly at that point. And that's instead of waiting for the summer. Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
But I don't think he's worth. I really don't. I really don't think he's worth. The high regard people have for him. I don't think he's worth that much. I think he's a solid player, but I just don't think he's anywhere near an elite player. He's not an elite player. I don't think he's above average player.
Yeah, he's solid. He's gonna give you some mid range. He's gonna give you some defense. He's gonna steady the ship. He's gonna be consistent. That's something that's quickly not right now.
Yeah.
But if quickly gets the minutes, he can get there. But right now, he's not that. So would I get quickly up for him right now? Probably not. Probably not. But
me either.
I don't know if Dallas would right now either, because I feel they're kind of behind the 8 ball. Like they're still in the playoff chase. Tim Hardaway Jr. going down is a big hit for them, so they're gonna have to. I feel like they're gonna have to receive at least more bodies, if anything. If they're gonna give him up, and probably need somebody who's gonna be able to contribute Knicks, like day one, if they're in the playoff chase. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ultimately the Knicks and Dallas will do a deal, just because Dallas has a big trade exception. And Timmy just went down.
Yeah, Timmy was just down, so they have to.
So I think they might take Burks off their hands, maybe for free or for like a second round pick. But they have that big trade exception, and Burks would fit right in there.
I think I would do that. I would do it. It would suck. It would suck. Him off the book. I might do it, man, because we just need if we're not going to make the playoffs right now, we just need addition by subtraction at this point. It sucks to give a pick for him, because if you wait a year or two, Burks' contract then becomes viable. So it feels weird to give a pick up for him, but it's just like, man, how far are we falling to give him? Because he can definitely help them for sure. I hate it. I hate it here, man. I hate the position we're in right now. I hate it, yo. $10 super chat from JD. Says, much respect to you, JLS. I watched you before I arrived in this space. Question to you and your panelists. What player would you bet will not be here post deadline?
I'd say, for me, Burks or Kemba. Though I think those are the two where I would be like, they're not going to be here once the trade deadline comes.
Absolutely.
Or passes, I mean.
Yeah, I agree with you, Burks and Kemba, because, well, Kemba has the least amount of years, and he doesn't cost that much money, and depending on how the front office feels, like we said before, there could be a buyout situation for him, and Burks can still contribute to teams. Like even though he's kind of been down so far this season, he can still contribute to teams, and he's contributed everywhere he's gone, even though he's not the best, but he's not the worst. And because he can contribute, and because he doesn't cost that much, it's just the years, I feel like he's the most likely to go. Evan is good too, but he's that contract will make him a little bit harder to move. So it'll be Kemba and Evan Fournier most likely to leave. And also too, it just seems like the news has come out recently, and we talked about it earlier. It seems like the Knicks are more likely to keep the young guys around. That's what it seems like, because Ian kind of talked about it earlier. He talked about the Knicks hold Obi and IQ in high regard, and they refuse to add Grimes in any trade packages for Cam. So it seems like the Knicks are prioritizing keeping the youth together. So Kemba and Evan, for sure. All right. Oh, Fritz says he has one more call up. All right, cool, Fritz. This is the marathon. Yo, I don't. Y'all want to talk? I don't
get it.
Yeah, y'all want to talk more after 1 a.m. than the regular show, but let's go.
For real. Oh man.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Man, I had to call. It's late. It's a bad L. We just gonna have the energy up. Everybody probably done burned. They probably done burned Tibbs' first car down, second car down. They probably blew up Randall's car. It is what it is. I just calling in with the energy. Like I said before, we're not gonna see nothing till either A, trade deadline, or B, we're completely out the playoff picture. We just gotta deal with it. Like you always say, it's a worldwide mess. But we here, all 82, as always. We don't need therapy. On that note, fellas, I'm out. Salute. Glad y'all do what y'all do.
All right, man. I appreciate the last minute ear to inject some life into the show, man.
For real.
Oh man, crazy. All right, man. Yeah, y'all rocking with us today. All right, 2 a.m. squad.
Yeah. 2:30 in the morning.
2 a.m. in the morning on a Friday, no work. Let's get it. We here talking these Knicks talk, man. Also, yo, Fritz, let's try Fubu first. We're gonna do the Fubu first. I'm gonna let y'all know one thing, all right? Shout out to my guy. Oh my gosh, wow, I'm 2 in the morning. My brain goes blank at 2 in the morning. It just is what it is. But So, as you guys know, I know there's some Knicks fans who's been having problems watching Knicks games, especially got you guys in Connecticut, the people who were watching at Comcast, right? So, because of that, I've actually signed an affiliate with Fubu TV. So, Fubu TV, you're able to watch Knicks games. You're able to stream Knicks games live. And they don't have blackouts like other programs. So if you're a Knicks fan and you're having trouble watching Knicks games, especially if you're in Connecticut and those kind of areas, you have Comcast and you're trying to do like the illegal little thing, you can go to Fubu TV and you can sign up there. You'll get 100+ channels, you get the cloud, and there's no contract. That's the other thing. There's no contract. You can stay and go when you want. And after the season, you can dip if you want to. So there's going to be a link that's going to be passed around. There's actually a link in the description. All links in the description, actually, for Fubu TV, for the Instagram, the Twitter, all those things. And it'll help you guys out if you want to watch these Knicks games, all right? If you just want to cut cable and you want to go the alternate route, hit up Fubu TV. And it'll be helping us out too. Be helping us out and helping yourself out too, watching these Knicks games, and we'll be able to help us fund the Nick of Time show and keep things moving. All right. Shout out to you guys. And shout out to Fubu TV. All right.
Yeah, we got a $5 super chat too.
And we got a $5 super. Okay, the 2. Okay, all right. The 2 a.m. crew be hitting with the super chats. Hold on. I gotta do y'all right. I gotta hit you with the gun. Shout out to the super chat. All right. Shout out to Adele Chapman since the $5 super chat says, got to support and let you guys know you appreciate it. I'm happy to hear that about the youth. Atkinson around, new coaches. People are throwing up new coaches, man.
Matter of fact, I think Atkinson's he's an assistant coach somewhere. I forgot what team. But he's not available right now. That's all I know.
I agree with you. Yeah, I don't think he's available right now either. I have a love-hate relationship with Tibbs, man.
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with Tibbs. If anything, I would like the front office to be like, hey, man, can you be a little more flexible? I think I want to do a talking to it first. Can you be a little bit more flexible with your rotations? Can you give OB 5 more minutes a game? 10 more minutes a game? Can you? I think that'd be the first phase. Give him I do not. We talked about this last show. I do not want this carousel of coaches every year, especially after he just won Coach of the Year. I know Ryan just said that on last show. He also said it on the IG. It's just the wrong time to fire Tibbs after winning Coach of the Year. It's just not a good look.
Exactly. But like you said, if they talk to Tibbs and he still doesn't adjust, then they're gonna have to do the adjustment for him. Then they have to get rid of the vets.
Yeah, I agree with you. But he needs to be a little bit more flexible. He talked all this talk about going on a spiritual journey with coaches and seeing how they do things, and then like apply some of that stuff you learned, studying in Golden State, Talk to your boy Van Gundy, man. Call that man, because I already know at this point, you heard what he had to heard what Jeff Gundy said. I think, right? Maybe like that's your man's. That's your man's. Like if I was outside, if I was coaching some team, and then I hear Ryan G, Jay Ellis, man, his rotations is horrible. He's like, I would have to call Ryan G like, oh Ryan, what the hell? So yeah, he had to call him by at some point. So hopefully he gets the point. I know I'm overly optimistic sometimes, but I'm hoping he gets together. And at the very least, even if Tibbs is moved in this season or two, or next season, like maybe Johnny Bryant takes over, like you guys have been begging for. I don't want to go to complete, some new system, new coach, complete. Like I hate that, yo. Hate it.
Facts.
All right, man. Woo. All right, that is our show. It is 2:36 a.m. and I am ready to go to sleep. So, Ryan G, let them know where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on Instagram at Sir G is Chillin'.
Sir G is Chillin'.
That's SIRG is CHILLIN. You can also find me on Twitter at Ryan G KOT. And I also made a new Instagram as well. That's going to be a new Instagram for G's Corner. So be on the lookout for that when I drop my next episode. I think.
Oh, we got a whole separate Instagram for G's Corner?
Yeah, we have a whole separate Instagram for G's Corner.
He said, nah, okay, I see you.
Yes, sir.
I see you. All right. So do I got to tag you? Do I got to tag you on the G's Corner now? Like, do I like, what we talk about?
Yeah, you're going to have to tag me on G's Corner, right. Second episode should be this weekend. I'm probably going to touch on trades a little bit, so be on the lookout for that.
Got you. Trade episode. Woo. All right. I might have to put like a whole little new section up on YouTube for G's Corner. I might have to do that for G's, especially if it's Knicks related. I put some Knicks related on KOT or something. No, I have to do that for your G's Corner. All right. Shout another $5 super chat, man.
All
right. It says wait. Tibbs has been playing Grimes, Obi, and IQ meaningful minutes. The problem is that Rose is out. Kemba can't ball like that. Kemba can't ball like he used to as a starter. Now you're right. Kemba actually had a pretty decent game for the first half of the game. Then he kind of fizzled out. If you have D Rose, you should be able to litigate some of that situation because when IQ goes off the rails, D Rose can take over and be the lead guard. Today, IQ went off the rails in the fourth quarter, and so you have to go back to Kemba. But with Rose is back, you may be able to split it. But I don't know if Kemba's going to be here past the trade deadline. We'll see.
Yeah, it's highly unlikely. And Panther for life? Yeah, we are live right now. We are wild like that. We are crazy like that. It is live.
It is live. We signing off, though. But you cashing the tail end, but we'll be here. We'll be talking Knicks after the games. West Coast trip in the middle of the work week, though. I am contemplating doing the next day. I'm contemplating doing that for the West Coast trip. What are you guys feeling? No, SK. You don't have to be sorry for keeping us up. You gave us a super chat. Glamour Knicks is still up. Oh my gosh!
Oh wow, yo. At this point, I feel like the whole Knicks family's still up. Like everybody just mad upset at this loss. Everybody can't go to sleep, so everybody's still up. Just do whatever.
Nobody cries themselves to sleep after the Knicks games anyway. Everybody just comes over here and talks about it. Okay, I feel you guys. All right, I appreciate that. Glamour Nick says throw up a poll. Throw up a poll. Like, do you want to do the post game the next day or that night for the West Coast trip? That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. Probably put that up on Twitter.
All right, put up on Twitter. You should be able to do a YouTube poll too.
Yeah. I mean, wherever, just, tally up the votes and see if the people want the post game the same night or the next day.
I just know, am I gonna be doing a post game on myself every night in the West Coast? Because I know I might be the crazy one to be up.
I mean, I'm a late night person, so I'll definitely be up for the West Coast game.
What? Okay, if Ryan G say he's gonna be up, then I might, and y'all vote that y'all gonna be up, then I'll be up for sure. I'll be up for sure. But we'll do a YouTube poll for sure. All right. All right. That is our show. Next show. When is the next game?
I think, is it Sunday or Monday?
Hold up.
Because I think it's the Kings that's next, I believe.
The Kings are future trade partners. All right.
Yeah.
Yo, if De'Aaron Fox end up on the Knicks, that's gonna be funny too, because he's been trolling us all last season.
For real. The next game, Monday.
And that's a regular game. That's regular time.
Yeah, because it's at the Garden, so it's gonna be regular time, 7:30.
Okay, so we got 7:30 game, 7:30 game,
8
o'clock, 8:30 game on a Saturday. That's not bad. 9 o'clock.
Well,
that's kind of on the border. But
now the Knicks and Warriors at 10 o'clock on Thursday. Yeah, that's gonna be the late one.
10 o'clock on Thursday. Lord. Okay. 10 o'clock on Thursday, 9 o'clock on Tuesday. Okay. We're gonna have a poll for these games right here. we're gonna poll for these games.
Nuggets and Warriors.
Yeah, the Jazz, Nuggets, and Warriors gonna be polling. We'll be polling. All right, but stay tuned. Thanks for rocking with us, guys. And all right, that is our show. Oh yeah, and as always,
shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here. All right, that is our show. We are out of here. Peace.